Hey, Adam here. Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be discussing about some of my challenges and a bit about my personal story, and then also why meditation works, the benefits of meditation, and how you can get started. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment for the algorithm, and let's get into it. Okay, so I used to think that meditation was all woo-woo. I used to think like, who's got time to meditate? What a load of nonsense, what a load of rubbish. And if you're thinking like that, then you are probably the one that needs to meditate the most. And 6 years ago, well, it was actually over 6 years ago now, I decided to sit down and do a meditation. And I remember sitting down and putting on a guided meditation, and I started to breathe in, breathe out. And all these thoughts were coming in, and I was judging myself. I was like, am I doing this correctly? This is silly, this is nonsense. I've got this email to reply back to. I need to message my friend. I've got to put the washing in. These were the sorts of thoughts that were coming in during the first time that I meditated. But after that, I did 10 minutes, and then I did it again the next day. And then I did it again the next day. And I haven't missed a day of meditation, and it's been over 6 years. Just 10 minutes a day in the morning. And I can say confidently now that meditation transformed my life. I'm also almost 6 years alcohol free. And I talk a lot about how going alcohol free is the single most transformational change you'll ever do. And I still stand by that, I do. And it will completely transform your life if you decide to stop drinking. But on my own personal journey, I actually started meditating before I quit drinking. And it was because of the meditating that I became aware that the drinking alcohol at the weekends and after work and things wasn't serving me very well. And I came to that realization. So it helped snap me out of that sort of like autopilot that I was in. I was just sort of living and just doing, and I wasn't really present. I'd have goals and things, but no sort of real crystal clear goals and a vision and things that were written down, and I was heading towards something. It helped me to look inwards and start working on my inner world, so then I could look at my outer world in more of a positive way. I used to be someone who would be quite frustrated, get angry at things that would happen in the world, but I'd sit in it for quite a long time. I'd let it affect me, it would affect my day. If things weren't going so well in the daytime, I would really sort of take that on and be quite angry and frustrated. I get quite jealous at people. I would compare to people as well. And I'd be concerned about what my friends are doing or what they're thinking about me or if they're talking about me behind my back. All this sort of stuff was going on in my mind before I started meditating. And then when I started to build a meditation practice in, I became aware of these thoughts, and then started asking myself, that's just a thought. It's just a thought, it's not true. And this is where it really started to help and to slow down my thinking and then assess the thoughts that were coming in. So why does meditation work? We have a ton of research on this. And it's been used in like clinical practice, clinical settings for, lots of different studies that we have. The Dalai Lama was asked, what do you gain from meditation? And he said, I gain nothing, but I lose jealousy, I lose judgment of myself, I lose judgment of others, I lose fear, I lose anger. And the reason why it works is because the brain is always active. It never stops. The thoughts that are coming in and coming out, whether that's you're doing something, you're at work, or you're just watching TV, or you're scrolling on social media, or you're spending time with family, whatever you're doing, thoughts are coming in and coming out and coming in and coming out. And the brain never stops. Even when you sleep, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. That's why you have dreams. So in any given moment, your mind is either fully present and you're aware that it's fully present and you're fully focused on the thing that you're doing and you're aware of your mind's freedom and the gratitude, or you're lost in thoughts. And those thoughts that you're lost in, they're either serving your inner peace in a positive way, or they're quite destructive thoughts and they're not serving your inner peace. And what meditation does, it helps you to become aware of those thoughts. So you can start, when a thought comes into your mind, you can then start to make better attachments to that thought, or what does that thought mean? After all, it is just a thought. it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So I've worked with hundreds of people on this in my coaching practice, and a lot of people will get quite frustrated with their thoughts. They might start to self-sabotage, they might start to beat themselves up in their own mind, but they've got no evidence that it's true. So it's just the thought that's doing it. So what we can do is ask yourself a question such as, what's a more helpful thought? And if you ask yourself a question, if you ask your brain a question, it has to come up with an answer. So what meditation does, it helps reduce stress. It helps reduce anxiety. It helps slow down your mind, and then you can respond to things more effectively. If you're someone who's sort of quite fast paced and you're rushing around all over the time, it can help you slow down a little bit. Now, I am someone who is still fast paced. I run a successful business, a high performance business, coaching business, and it's always go, go, go. But also what you can realize is that when it is go, 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 you can just take a few deep breaths in that moment and just slow down. Make sure you're fully present on the thing that you're working on. So that's what it does. The meditation helps you to reduce stress, reduce anxiety, but it helps you to be in the present moment, which is now. When we're not present, we're either lost in thought, like I mentioned before, and we're worried about the future, or we're concerned about the past. And this is what can create a lot of our anxiety and a lot of stress. And also when we're in stressful situations, whether that's with family, whether that's with work or in your business, what meditation can do is help you to view that stress in a more healthy way, because it's not the object or the event or the person that's causing the stress. It's how you're viewing it, and it's your thought and your attachment to the thing, the object, the event, or the person, or the situation. And what meditation does, it helps you just to slow down, and those thoughts that are sort of whirring around about this and about that, it will help you slow down and then ask yourself a question and go, what evidence do I have that that's true? Or what's a more helpful thought? Sometimes I'm just walking around and these thoughts will come in. They'll be quite negative thoughts about, I don't know, anything. It could be anything. But I'm just walking down the street and I'll actually say out loud to myself, it's just a thought, Adam. The thoughts do not define who you are. That's a key thing. Your thoughts do not define who you are. If you act on those thoughts, then they define who you are. It's just a thought. I used to be someone who was quite fearful. I'd get jealous quite easily. I get angry quite easily sometimes. And what meditation does is help reduce in those areas. I still get anxious. I still get frustrated at things, but it's very short-lived. Whereas in 6 years ago, I would sit in the anger, I would sit in the jealousy, I'd be quite anxious, and I'd sit in it for quite a long time, and the thoughts would keep going and going, and I would get quite frustrated. But now I could still get anxious, I could still get a bit irritated and get a bit angry at something, but I don't sit in it for a long time. So what has meditation taught me? Well, it's taught me a lot about myself, how I view myself, how I view the world, how I view my world, and it has taught me a lot of stuff. And all it is, you're just sat on a cushion. You're sat on a cushion and you're focusing on your breath or focusing on a body part. But it's amazing just by sitting there and doing that for 10 or 15 minutes every day for 6 years, what that's actually taught me. The first thing that meditation has taught me is acceptance brings peace. Look, there's terrible things that happen to people. You would have had challenging things in your life as well. You would have faced adversity. There's more adversity coming, and there is some horrific things that happen to people. I myself, have awful things have happened to me as well. We've all had our own challenges. When things happen that are maybe outside of our control, the more that you can accept that it's happened and deal with the reality of the situation, this can help bring peace in your mind. When something's happened, an event or a situation, whether that's with yourself or with family or with friends or on the news or something in the world, and it could be really shit or really bad and really upsetting, it's accepting that that has happened. And a lot of the time, we don't always accept it. We don't believe it. We don't believe it's happened. And this can affect our inner peace. So once we accept, when a situation happens, what it's taught me is the quicker that I can accept it's happened, that can help bring me peace inside. Now, the situation could be quite painful, or it could be awful, the thing. And yes, of course, I may get emotional about it and be upset about it, but accepting that it's happened helps with my inner peace. And then what I can do next, that's the crucial thing. It's, this has happened, this event's happened, it's not great, or whatever it is, but what can I do next? What is most healthiest for me next? And serving other people as well. So that is crucial. That's the first thing that meditation has taught me, is that acceptance brings peace. Meditation has also taught me how to regulate my emotions. Now, we've got lots of different emotions. We have happiness, we have sadness, we have jealousy, we have fear, we have anger. So these are just emotions, and you would have experienced all of these emotions as well. What meditation does is make you aware of when you're feeling these emotions and how you can respond to them more effectively. But the key thing that meditation has taught me is that fear, anger, and jealousy, these are delusions of the mind. They don't help a situation. If you're getting jealous about something, it's your thought that's doing it. It's your attachment onto the object or the person or the thing that's making you jealous. It doesn't resolve anything. Fear as well, when you're fearful about something. Again, this doesn't serve you. It doesn't help move things forward. It doesn't serve your inner peace. And again, with anger, getting angry at things it's just another delusion of the mind. So this is the thing that it's taught me. And like I said before, I still experience these emotions. I'm not just an emotional robot. But you recognize when it's happening, and you can recognize it quite quickly, and then ask yourself better questions. And don't judge yourself. When you judge others, or when you feel judged, you automatically limit so many opportunities and possibilities. This is why judgment is just, it's a delusion of the mind. It's just playing tricks on you. As I mentioned earlier, anxiety is something that I used to experience a lot. I was a people pleaser, and my anxiety around people, around pleasing people, wearing masks to fit in with other people, this would cause me a lot of internal suffering, unnecessary suffering. And my anxiety used to be quite high, especially after drinking, in the days that followed, anxiety about work, anxiety about relationships, money. I used to be in quite a lot of debt years ago, and I used to have a lot of anxiety about money. So what meditation has taught me is that anxiety is short-lived. It doesn't need to hang around for a long time. That anxious thought could come in, and I can just, in the moment, take a few little deep breaths, whether that's quite obvious that I'm taking a deep breath, or just in a subtle way, and help myself come back to the present moment and ask myself a better question, or deal with the situation or the event or whatever's happening in front of me. I used to be someone who would lack confidence. 6, 7 years ago, there would be no way I'd be sat here recording this and putting it on social media. Same with my other social media platforms, whether that's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn, or I would just, none of this, I wouldn't have the courage or the bravery to do this. I would be too anxious about recording myself and putting it on the internet. So meditation has taught me that a calm mind creates confidence. If your mind is bitter, it's angry, or it's jealous, and you've got those thoughts coming in, that does not make you confident. So although you may see confident people and they're there sort of angry and they look confident, that is not confidence. When you are calm and accept everything that's happening around you and what you see in front of you right now, that is confidence. When you are able to show up in the world every day without a mask and accept all of that you are, and you understand your values, your morals, and you're living with purpose, clarity, and you know where you're heading, this all comes from a calm mind, and that's what creates the confidence. Meditation has also taught me that your breath is your most powerful resource. What do I mean by that? When you sit down and meditate, there's lots of different methods. The one that's worked for me the most is just breathing meditation. So breathing in, focusing on my breath, and breathing out, and just repeating that over and over again. But it's amazing how much you use your breath throughout the day. Obviously, you need it to live, you're breathing, but in stressful situations, when you take deep breaths, if you're someone who works out at the gym and you're lifting weights, you use your breath. Your breath is your most powerful resource because it centers you. When it centers you, it allows you to come back to the present moment. So if my mind's racing and it's going off on this and there's all this going on, there's stress happening, my son's doing something and my wife's doing something or whatever, it's something in the business and it's creating all this in my mind, the breath is going to be the thing that helps me come back to now. And in that moment, I may just take a few deep breaths and that allows you to come back to the present moment. But what the meditation practice does when you're practicing every day, it helps you to become aware of that, of when to use it. So my tips for getting started with meditation. When I did it over 6 years ago, I used the Calm app. And I've used the Calm app for about 4 years. Every day. I started with their daily calm and just built it from there. I literally just sat down one morning and hit play on the daily calm on the Calm app and just listen to the instructions. If I was to start all again, I would say use something like Calm or the Headspace app. To be honest, I've never used the Headspace app. I've only really used Calm app. I've also used Sam Harris's app, the Waking Up app. But my top tip for getting started is to probably use Calm because, well, that's the one that I've used the most. And what I would do if you sign up to Calm, there is a introduction guide to meditation. There's like 7 days of calm or 21 days of calm, and it's like a program that you would follow. And it'll just start off with just a few minutes of introduction into what meditation is, how to sit, and how to position yourself so you can do deep breaths. And just follow the instructions. That's all you need to do. Just sit there. And I guarantee if you've never meditated before and you sit there and you listen to Calm or you put an app on and you sit down to do meditation, your mind is going to go crazy. It's going to be racing. Am I doing this correctly? I have to remember to do this. I've got to send that email. I need to go pick up my child. I need to do this. All these thoughts are going to start coming in. But that is normal. It is completely normal. What I refer to those they're the ingredients. That's exactly what we want to happen. The key is to recognize when those thoughts are coming in. And on the guided meditations, they will teach you how to do it. So today, meditation is a huge part of who I am and my identity. Years ago, I used to think it was woo-woo, and I cannot actually start the day without meditation. This is how powerful it is. So I recommend that you always start your meditation in the morning before the noise begins. What do I mean by the noise? The noise on your phone, the noise on social media, the noise from the TV, the noise of just people in your atmosphere, in your family house or your situation or whatever. This is what I refer to as noise. But if you can start your meditation practice first thing before the noise starts, this can help to regulate your emotions, help to come back to now, and so then you can prepare your mind for the day ahead. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about meditation, please put them below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Please like the video, share the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.